Good morning, class 9 students. This is Agrimar Hafid, your biology teacher. First, I would like to congratulate you all to get promoted to a higher grade. Hope you all are doing well and taking good care of your health. So, now let us start the class by a brief introduction to your syllabus of the biology. So, you are having 6 chapters in biology only. So, the chapters are... The first chapter is the fundamental unit of life. The chapter 2 is tissues. 3rd is improvement in food resources. 4th, diversity in living organism. 5th, why do we fall ill? And 6th is the natural resources. These have been divided into 2 terms, 3 chapters each. Now let us start with our chapter. So that is the first chapter of biology and 5th chapter of your science book, the fundamental unit of life. So this arises a questions to you that what is the fundamental unit of life? You can remember it from the earlier class also that the fundamental unit of life is, it is cell. So in the class 8 also you have studied about this chapter, cell. So you can remember it from there. So who have discovered cell? Right, you will be remembering it, Robert Hooke. So first of all, we are going to do the introduction for it. So you can see it here that this is a wall, and this wall is being made from many bricks. So brick is the building block of the wall. As same, our body is made up of many millions of cells. So the cell is the building block of any organism, any living organism. So you can see it here. This is an onion peel under microscope, and there is a dot over here. This dot is the nucleus, right? So this is how the cell looks like. Now let us move to the discovery of the cell. So the discovery of the cell, it was done by the Robert Hooke, right? So you can see it here. This is the microscope of the Robert Hooke. Now there is a very interesting story behind this. There was a king who wanted to have some research on the microscopic world. So he gave this work to a very well-known scientist, that was Christopher Wren. So Christopher Wren was very known, but he didn't wanted to do this work. So he handed over this work to Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was not that much known at that time. He was just he was an upcoming scientist. He was only 26 years old at that time. So Robert Hooke designed a microscope that you can see it on the screen. He took a cork. Now what cork is? Cork is this kind of thing. You would have seen it on TV commercials. Champagne bottles are being closed by this cork. This cork is obtained from the bark of the tree. Bark means chhal, ped ki chhal. So from that the cork is being obtained. When Robert Hooke took this cork under the microscope, so he saw some empty spaces like this. This is what the image Robert Hooke saw. So you can see it here that these are the empty spaces. So these empty spaces, it was looking like something like a honeycomb like structures, hexagon shapes. So when Robert Hooke saw these empty spaces, so he called these empty spaces as cell. Cell is actually, its meaning is been taken from that. You would have heard about it also, that the rooms given in the jail are also called as cell, right? So cell is been taken from there. So Robert Hooke have given the term cell. After that when Robert Hooke have given the term cell, he have seen the cell on a dead thing. Cork is a dead thing. It is not living. So after that, Antonio von Leeuwenhoek, he discovered the free living cell in the pond water first time with an improved microscope. That Robert Hooke have made, he have improved it and saw free living cell first time. Then now we knew the scientists knew about the cell, but they didn't know what actually cell is. They didn't know anything other about the cell. So scientists got curious about it. Many of the scientists started researching about the cell. So two scientists came up there, Skeldon and Sequan. They gave a theory. That theory is known as cell theory. They have given 2 points for the cell. That cell are the basic structural and functional unit of life. That means that without a cell, a life cannot be there. There is a fundamental thing that is needed for a life, that is cell. And every organism is made up of cell. It can be made up of one cell, it can be made of many cells also. So this was the point given by Skeldon and Sequan. After that, one of the scientists, Virchow, he worked on this same cell theory that Skeldon and Sequan have given, and he added one more point, that it was not clear from Skeldon and Sequan that how the cell arises, from where it comes. It comes from magic or what? So Virchow told us that a new cell arises from a pre-existing cell that is existing on the earth. So from that existing cell only a new cell can be formed. So this was the cell theory. Now we are going to talk about the shapes of the cells. What different types of shapes do we have? There are many different types of shape. Every organism is made up of different cells. The shapes are different. So we are going to see the different shapes in a human body only. So you can see it here. The nerve cell is branch shaped. Fat cell is around. It is irregular circular shape or prox. And then bone cell is kind of amoeba type of. Then sperm is snake shape something. Blood cell is circular, and ovum is also circular in shape. So you can see it here that in a human body only there are different shapes of the cell. So you can assume that in different organisms there are going to be many different shapes. And when we are talking about the shapes are different. The sizes also varies. So the sizes of the cell, the largest cell that has been found is the ostrich egg. It is about 15 centimeter, 13 centimeter. You can see it here. It is oval in shape. From here it is 15 centimeter. Here it is 13 centimeter. Then when we are talking about the smallest cell, that smallest cell is a bacteria. A genus of bacteria that is called as Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is a genus. So in that, the particular bacteria that is very small, the smallest, it is PPLO. PPLO means plural pneumonia like organism. It is 10 micrometer. Micrometer, why we are taking micrometer? Because it is that bacteria cannot be seen with the naked eye. So this cannot be measured in meter or something like that, centimeters. So it has been the lesser measuring unit, micrometer. Okay. Now the last thing, the organism has been divided into two types on the basis of the number of cells. How many number of cells are there? So you can see it here that there are two types of organism, unicellular and multicellular organism. Unicellular organisms are made up of single cell, as you can see in the pictures also. Amoeba, paramecium, yeast. You would be seeing the picture first time, that yeast. This one circular oval shape, that is one yeast. This is the second yeast. There are many yeast over here. So you would have heard about the budding process of reproduction. These yeast have been formed by the budding, many yeast. That's why they are joined together. You can recall it from the previous class. And multicellular organism, we know about it because we are one of the multicellular organisms. So multicellular organisms are those organisms that are made up of numerous cells. Human being, plant, birds, insects, animals, these all are coming under the multicellular organism. One more difference in multicellular and unicellular organism is that multicellular organism have their the brain cells are working differently. They have a specific work. The heart cells are working for a different thing. The stomach cells are working for a different thing. So the labor is being divided into different types of cell. But in the unicellular cell, as you can see in the amoeba, this single cell takes the food and engulf it. It works as mouth also. It is going to work as a stomach also. From here it is going to excrete out the food material. It is going to breathe through this same cell. So this single cell is going to do the same all the works. So there is no, in the unicellular organism there is no division of labor, but in the multicellular organism there is division of labor. So today we are going to end this topic here only. After this I am going to send you some notes, so do that. Thank you very much.